Hey, what's up, everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to increase your wellness center's accommodation occupancy rates by 30% or more. And when I say wellness centers, I mean wellness resorts, yoga meditation and spiritual centers, silent retreat centers, eco lodges with wellness focus, Ayurvedic retreats, social wellness clubs, spas, wellness hotels, holistic healing centers, detox and cleanse retreats, off-grid wellness retreats. And so if any of these fit your description and you charge money for your accommodation, this video is for you. So let's get into it. Hey, my name is Thomas and I help wellness centers improve their digital operations using efficient systems with minimal effort from their team. Over the last few years, I worked with multiple wellness centers in various areas, ranging from branding and marketing and web development, digital systems, social media marketing, physical marketing, community management, and combining all of these things into systems that help to establish a flourishing business. And so here are a few reviews of the centers that I worked with, and this is exactly what we want to focus on, right? We want to focus on everyone having a great experience and, for them to leave the reviews and to be happy, right? So this is your wellness center. This is your wellness center, and it might have a lot of different avenues, right? So you might have some wellness activities and classes which require a teacher. So you might have a yoga, meditation, spa, masseuses, body workers, breath work facilitators, Reiki, all of those things. You might rent your space for events, maybe like your yoga hall, or you have like an event space. You might have retreat packages, you might have restaurant or cafe, you might have events, you might have wellness facilities, you might have products and merch, you might have accommodation. So there's a lot of activities that go into a wellness center. And again, depending on your brand, depending on what you set out to do in this world, there might be a combination of these, there might be just one thing. But in this video, we're going to focus on accommodation rentals. And so, this is a video on how to increase this specifically. All the other aspects I might cover in the future videos, but today we're focusing on this. So as I said, we're focusing on increasing accommodation rental bookings. And as a business owner, let me just zoom out. As a business owner, you probably know that there are a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of things that we can improve. But to give you peace of mind, in this video, I want to prioritize increasing the cash flow from the accommodation bookings first, because that is a most predictable and steady way to cover your business overheads and all the other things, right? So once you have the money coming in, you don't have to worry about how I'm going to make the ends meet. You can actually, have all of the things covered, and then you can focus on, increasing and working and optimizing other areas. And I found that accommodation rental is, one of the staples that can help with that. So let's dive into it. Here's an example of one of the wellness centers that I worked with in last year. So they've earned, almost $100,000 purely from accommodation bookings, and that's only from 9 months, right? Plus they are in a third world country, so they're not in the US or Europe. They're located in Southeast Asia, and they still managed to gain these results, only being first year in the operations and not even a full year, right? Their biggest month was $20,000 in August, just from accommodation. And they also have all the other activities in that circle that I've showed before. So, even just this can cover a lot of expenses, can cover a lot of maintenance, can cover a lot of things. So that's why I focus on this first, and then we can move on to other things. So steps involved. How do we actually do this, right? So as a business and as a wellness business, you should definitely get clear on your brand concept. And you need to get clear on the brand concept, specifically around your languaging, your images, and the feelings that your customers should experience after they engage with your business. And why this is important? Well, we need to be super clear first ourselves. Secondary, that our target audience gets super clear of what we stand and what we believe in, because we're not just another hotel or a resort or whatever. We do have a specific flavor and specific offerings, and so you have to decide, if you're running a business, you'll probably already decide what is your angle, what are the offerings, and what type of people you want to attract. A wellness center that has high luxury spa facilities compared to an eco-conscious backpacker location with a jungle view will attract very different audiences. So first you got to get super clear on that and make sure that your physical offerings, your physical location matches that, right? So whether you're in a big city and you've got a small studio with some accommodations attached to it, or you are a hotel that offers yoga on a rooftop, or are you a retreat wellness space in the jungle where you have like wooden cabins for rent, right? So you gotta make sure that you're super clear on your brand concept, you're super clear on the language that you use, and that's consistent all throughout. And then once you define that, then you can think of like what type of feelings your customers should experience after engaging with you. And once again, that's how you define your target audience, right? So is it backpackers? Is it luxury travel lovers? Is it families? Is it students who are looking to become better yoga teachers and whatnot, right? Once you have that, that's the first step. Next, we move on to actually creating and optimizing your booking platform listings. And when I say that, I'm talking about the biggest holiday rental platforms. And you might say, hey, but I'm not running a holiday rental or a hotel. Yes, that's absolutely true. That is why we need to do the steps above and these in order to attract the right audience, right? So once we're clear on our brand, once we're clear on our offering, and we know who we want to attract, we can then go on and translate that into the digital format. So we make sure that we capture high quality photos of the venue and the rooms. We focus on showcasing the brand, keeping in mind your target audience. So let's say a luxury resort might feel very different, or just a hotel, a luxury, a 2-star hotel compared to a yoga retreat center. They might both offer accommodation, but the one that offers yoga and spirituality and detox will showcase different things, right? And so we want to make sure that we capture that with the photos, and we make sure that we edit the photos for them to be really high quality, because you only have a split of a second on the booking platforms to actually be represented. So you got to make sure that those few split seconds you are clear, right? The user who sees your listing, who sees your photos, is clear on exactly the type of venue you are, and that's how you actually filter out. Like that's how you filter out the people, because we don't necessarily want to attract all kinds of people. We want to attract a specific audience. Hence, we want to make sure that we attract them with the right things. And a lot of the accommodation booking platforms, they do also have a little bit of a text field, right? So you can enter the description and the bio of your profile. So make sure that's all optimized. And again, it talks the language and it speaks to the same people. And so you can actually tap into these big booking site networks and yet still attract the right people. The big difference between, for example, football fans who come to the city and they stay at a hotel where they might go out, they might be drinking, they might be smoking, they might be doing all the things, and they just leave the resort and the hotel a big mess. We don't want those kind of people, right? We want a specific, conscious, clear-minded people who will enjoy the facilities and other offers that you have at your place. So we got to make sure that those photos and the description and the language that you use represent that. And it's a natural filtration system, right? Someone who's there to just, make mess and party probably won't book a zen looking location, right? So we gotta get that clear, and so that will help us to reach broader population and also be a natural filter for getting the right people through the door. So I would start with one external platform as a test. And there's a bunch of them, booking.com, Agoda, Traveloka, Expedia, Trip.com, Airbnb. There's a bunch. You will probably find a lot of these in just think of, like, if you're going traveling, which platform you would use, and just go with that. Okay, so the next step is marketing. Once we are on the platform, we still need to play around with a little bit of marketing and sales on these platforms to make sure that we get going, right? Because no one knows about us. We might be a new player on the platform, and we'll need to do some marketing in order to attract the first few customers. A lot of the platforms offer special offers. So here's a few examples from Airbnb. You can set different early bird discounts or different offers for longer stays. They even offer, if you're a newcomer to the platform, they offer some sort of a newcomer discount where they say, okay, for the first 5 listings, you give an X amount of discount, and in an exchange, the platform will push your listing to be seen by more people. So I would highly recommend running those. And yes, you might, lose a little bit of money up front, the 20%, 15%, but in the long term, it's very much worth it, because the first step for us is to focus on collecting the platform reviews. So whether you're on Airbnb or booking.com or whatever that is, you want to make sure that you get the reviews from your new guests, plus Google reviews. So you got to implement review collection systems, whether it's in person, where you have your reception staff, or you have some posters and some gifts, where you can offer, directly say, hey, if you enjoy your stay, we'd like you to leave a review. We really appreciate that. It helps us with our, for more people to discover this place. And if you you had a good experience, then please share it with others. We can also run some digital systems where we send a follow-up email or maybe even an SMS with some offers in an exchange for those reviews. And this is very important and powerful, because it decreases your future marketing costs, right? When a person sees this on a Airbnb, they will be like, cool, I can trust this. This host has good ratings, 5-star reviews. I'm gonna book this just because of that, because no one wants to be the first one, and no one wants to be booking something that they're not sure of. So we gotta make sure that they are happy, and these platforms gives us that feeling, right? So once you have a lot of reviews, then we will be pushed to more people also. When I mean pushed, will be put in front of more eyeballs on those platforms, because the platform sees that you have been trusted, and so it's just a snowball effect, right? You want to make sure that you're getting more and more of these reviews so that you get more and more customers. And so in turn, that decreases your future marketing costs, and it just makes things easier, right? Like, even if you spend more on marketing, that will convert better, and that will just gain better results, right? So highly recommend implementing the systems. And yeah, that's your first step. That's what you want to focus on. You got to make sure you're getting those reviews on all the possible platforms. And then obviously we want to continue with general brand building on social media. Also consider some influencer marketing through collaborations, and having set and clear agreements on what they get in an exchange for staying at your place or having an experience. That can really work, but you have to be really clear and careful on the agreements, and just an exchange. So then next up, we can activate a channel manager, right? This is how we actually scale the bookability, and each channel can bring 20 to 50% increase in the bookings. So in the occupancy as well, right? So when I say channel manager, it's basically a piece of software that allows for all the booking platforms to be synced up under one calendar, under one platform. And it's all managed through that same platform also. So you don't have to go and manage your booking.com account and Airbnb account and Expedia account and your own direct booking channel. All of that is synced and matched under one roof. And when you can add unlimited amount of these platforms of external platforms. So you can run booking.com, Airbnb, Traveloka, whatever else. And as every new platform has potential of bringing 20 to 50% more bookings, because you're reaching new audiences and you are getting seen by many more people, right? So here, for example, we have one of the accounts, and you can see like some of these were booked on Airbnb, some of these were booked on booking.com. And if we would only be running booking.com, we'd only get a few bookings, right? But then we activate booking.com and Airbnb, and that's almost immediate 20 to 50% increase in bookings. Again, here, we can see that, that's, if we would only be running one of these platforms, we're essentially missing out on 50% of the bookings. While now people are finding us on Airbnb, people are finding us on booking.com, people are finding us on other platforms, and they book, and everything is just managed at the same location. So also, as a wellness venue, you might want to run private events and retreats and stuff like that. You can also just go into your channel manager and block out the specific timing, right? So you want to say, okay, we have a retreat, so I just block out all of the accommodation things, yet people can still book around those dates, and it doesn't cause any disturbances to the retreats nor to the one-off bookings. So that's a very useful platform to have, and it's all synchronized all throughout the platforms. Highly recommend doing this if you want to scale. And so here's a list of channel managers. There's a lot of them. All of them work with slightly different platforms, or they work in a slightly different way, but that's essentially their purpose. So you can go with either of these and try to make it work for yourself. But I highly recommend figuring it out if you haven't done already. So the next step would be remarketing, right? So we want to make sure that we automate all the customer data collection from the channel manager. We collect their emails, their names, their phone numbers, and we set up some automated emails, whether it's asking for reviews or it's nurturing them towards other services. So let's say you have some retreats running, or you have some products, some physical products that you want to sell, maybe some online products you want to sell, and you already have a list of these people who had great experience, and they already know you, right? So you can just simply send them an email saying, hey, we're launching an online yoga teacher training, or whatever that may be. Here's a link to buy it, and it's very easy for you to sell more and to convert the people, because they already bought it from you once, right? We can also run paid ads on social media to similar audiences. Again, once we have the email addresses, we can put them in the list and say, hey, show our ads to these people or similar people like these. Again, that lowers our costs for the customer acquisition, as well as just makes things so much easier. And we also want to use those reviews collected from before as a marketing tool, right? So we can make some videos, we can make some stories, we can make some social media posts, and make sure that we include some of that positive feedback that we've gathered from the people who already stayed with us. And that's pretty much it. The final step of this puzzle is to just continue providing great service and optimize the systems. Once you got this first step done, you just need to continue providing and showing up for your customers, making sure that they're having a good time and good experience, so that then they could provide these reviews. And, again, as I mentioned, it's a snowball effect where everything just kind of grows because of good quality and people actually having good experience. So just to summarize, make sure that you're clear on your brand identity, of your brand story. Make sure that you capture great photos and have a clear languaging around who you want to attract. Get on those marketing tools, such as get on those booking platforms, and then make sure that you have a channel manager. Sync them all up, provide great service, collect reviews, and your wellness center is set to grow. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. My name is Thomas, and I'll see you in the next one.